So if you look at where we've come in the last 2 years, I mean, we started out doing DR backup for VM. We started then moving that towards monitoring of systems. We did the same for Microsoft for Hyper-V. And a lot of customers told us, if you had a backup for a physical product, a Windows or Linux server, we'd buy your product. We also had customers who said, if you could back up our endpoints, our desktops, our laptops, we'd buy more of your product. We've then had the customers looking at a variety of different hardware vendors and saying, if you could support, for example, Nutanix. By the end of the year, we'll support Nutanix and their Acropolis hypervisor. We've got support by the end of the year for some IBM storage at the software storage level. So integrating Veeam software with the operating system on the IBM storage. I think we've already had the Amazon, so working with Amazon Web Services and doing the integration between us and them. We've done the same with Microsoft Azure. So I think we've rounded out the portfolio in the last 2 years. But I think if you look at what's happening in the Middle East, the whole digitization, the cloud message, we've done a survey every year, and I think you've probably seen the survey. 74% of the people in the Middle East surveyed said that they needed to become an online business as a critical issue for their business survival. But at the same time, 82% of those companies said they had an availability gap. So that's why you'll see the word availability constantly behind Veeam in everything we do. We're helping companies become available. So we've done a lot of work on the product set. Version 10 comes out at the end of the year, a number of new vendors supported. On the business level, we've also this year signed agreements with Hewlett-Packard Enterprise. Hewlett-Packard Enterprise is now a reseller, and we're on the price list for Hewlett-Packard Enterprise. So their salespeople can sell Veeam, and that's a fantastic endorsement from HPE of Veeam. We've also this month done the same with Cisco, and we are doing the same with NetApp as of February next year. So I think you can see that we've got a great product portfolio being endorsed by some of the biggest vendors in the market, like HPE, like Cisco and NetApp, and we're working with people like Ingram Micro, the world's largest disti. So we're obviously doing something right. People like what we're doing.
So most probably Veeam comes under the virtualization segment. So wherever is virtualization, we can pitch in Veeam there. Most probably it will come under VMware or Hyper-V portfolio. So if the customer is using VMware or if the customer is using Hyper-V, we are definitely Veeam will be there accordingly. So Veeam mostly comes under the virtualization platform. And recently Veeam has introduced agents for physical machines as well. So customers who are having Windows or Linux physical servers, so they can also use Veeam as well.
Okay, so if you look at the biggest opportunity today, partners are convincing customers to virtualize. So still in this market, we haven't had complete virtualization. We've had a number of customers who've got applications that are still physical. So that's why we've come out with a physical product. If you look at a lot of people, they're moving away from Unix, they're moving to Linux. So a lot of companies that have run, for example, banking applications, they're suddenly realizing that Linux is a lot better option, and they're moving away. There are a number of people looking at things like the mainframes and suddenly realizing the Intel platform can do a lot of that. And then of course there's cloud. So ultimately there's a number of different ways in which we can win the customer. In terms of the partners, we've got some of the largest partners in the countries around the Middle East working with Veeam. And again, if you come back to our alliances, so if you come back to HPE, Hewlett-Packard, Cisco and NetApp, we have a lot of their largest partners coming on board because they know that when they sell those products, they need a solution.
Okay, if you just look at it right now, there are a lot of legacy solutions that's in the market. And Veeam, if you look at the option, technically Veeam is sound and it is qualified. It has all the latest technologies and latest features there, which all the end customer is looking at. Example I can give you, our instant VM recovery is the best in the market. And we also introduced, we are the one to introduce Sure Backup and Sure Replication. So these features are the most important thing. And apart from that, we also have a very good feature which is called as Virtual Lab. So you can use your backup server as a virtual lab itself. Like you can use your backup server to test your production servers. So this is one of the cool features which Veeam has. And this kind of things, like it is making our partners to sell Veeam a lot. So we have a lot of space where legacy backups are there. And still, you can say like a lot of customers are moving from physical environment to virtual. So we have a huge space there.
Okay, so there are a number of segments worldwide looking at availability. If you look at where the problems have been, for example, the UK, Heathrow Airport has had huge problems. Gatwick Airport, which is also around London, has had no problems. It's protected by Veeam. So the issue has been around availability. There are a number of challenges where people have had downtime. So we've had a well-known mall in Dubai has had a downtime outage. We've had a bank with an outage. If you look at the customers we've had locally, you've probably seen Dubai Duty Free. We've made a video with them talking about how we make all of their environment available 24/7. People are shopping in Dubai Airport 24/7 and Veeam is protecting it. We've got all sorts of customers from, we did an organic supermarket recently in Dubai. It literally is every kind of business, whether it's a bank or a telco, needs to be more available. The same in healthcare. It's literally everywhere. Every kind of business has an availability issue. They all want to have a Veeam solution.
Veeam has different types of products. So we have Veeam Essentials for the SMBs, and Veeam Backup and Replication as well, and Veeam Availability Suite for the enterprise. So most of the SMB segments, we used to sell Veeam Essentials, and the best part of it is like it will close the opportunity which we create in a week will get closed in a couple of weeks itself. So the time frame is very limited here, and plus the value add from the partner side is like they will get more profit as well. Plus the opportunity which we are creating right now in the market is like it's booming them, and like it supports them to mingle with like HP and NetApp and Cisco as well for them to sell their own products as well along with Veeam together. And the most important thing is like what partner is asking us is the discounts, and definitely we can match the customer what the customer is looking for, and we can win the deal as well.